All right. It's playing. It's working. Hi, Melanie. This is for you. Oh my God, Chapter 5 of Calling on Dragons. I love this chapter title, in which the plot thickens. I love the pattern, actually, of all of the chapter titles. Fiddlesticks halted just in front of Morwen's feet. The man he was carrying kicked, then tried to punch backward and overhead at the cat's nose. Fortunately, he missed. Fiddlesticks growled and shook his head, and the man shrieked as he swung back and forth. How interesting, Telemane said. Morwen, your cat appears to have captured a miniature wizard. So I see, Morwen said. What did you do with his staff? Said Fiddlesticks, and jabbed his tail back toward the bush. Good. Don't let him know anywhere near it. Morwen turned and started for the clover patch. Where are you going? Telemane said. To get the bucket, Morwen called over her shoulder. There was another high-pitched shriek from the wizard and a jumbled protest from Telemane, both of which she ignored. Having collected her bucket, she returned to find the wizard on his feet, with Fiddlesticks standing guard. Telemane sat cross-legged in front of them, holding something that looked like a silver watch with an orange dial in 4 hands. He kept looking from the watch to the wizard and back. Has he told you what they're up to yet? Morwen said, setting the bucket down a little to one side, where it would be handy, but out of the immediate way. Telemane looked up, frowning. I haven't asked. Do you realize that this is the first opportunity I've had to observe a wizard in situ? Of course, the magical connections would be clear if his staff were a little closer. You leave the staff where it is, Morwen said. Fiddle, if either of them tries to go get it, stop them. I don't care how. You don't? That's easy, then. Fiddlesticks curled his lips back, showing most of his teeth. Did I do good? Does this mean I can have fish for dinner? Oh my God, I love Fiddlesticks so much. It certainly does, Morwen said, and possibly a bowl of cream as well. Where's Scorn? With Jasper watching the staff. Do they get fish too? Yes, if they wanted it. Morwen transferred her attention to the 6-inch wizard. He had a sharp, angular face, half covered by an untidy brown beard, and he seemed a little young compared to most of the wizards Morwen had met, not to mention short. If it won't interfere with your observations, Telemane, I'd like to ask this fellow a few questions. Oh, not at all. Telemane did not even glance up. Good. Now, wizard, who are you and what are you doing in this enchanted forest? The wizard drew himself up to his full height, which brought his head about even with Fiddlestick's nose. Of course it is. I'm Antorel, and if you know what is good for me, if you know what is good for you, you will not meddle with me, he said in a shrill voice. I might have known, Morwen said. What's that? Telemane said, looking up. Morwen, these readings are absurd. This fellow can't be very good. Antorel's face turned bright red. Morwen smiled. He isn't. This is Antorel. Telemane. Antorel. Oh, the son of head wizard Zeminar? That's right, Antorel said. And you'll regret, isn't he the one simmering keeps melting? Telemane said. And shouldn't he be larger? Antorel's face became downright purple. Curious about the change, Fiddlesticks leaned forward and his whiskers brushed the side of Antorel's head. The wizard shrieked and jumped away. The cat pounced and a bit of moss flew in all directions. After a moment, the rapidly moving tangle resolved into Fiddlesticks crouched over the wizard. One front paw, with claws fully extended, rested on each of Antorel's shoulders. Antorel looked terrified. He's the one, Morwen said to Telemane. Very good, Fiddle. You may back up now. I don't think you'll do that again. Fascinating, Telemane murmured, his eyes fixed on the cat. Hold on, I need some water. I'm thirsty. Did you see the sparks, Morwen? He cast a basic warding off spell, but it didn't affect the cat at all. Morwen frowned in concern. Fiddlesticks? Well, of course it didn't do anything to me. Fiddlesticks eased slowly off Antorel's chest and sat down very close beside him. Wizards don't know how to handle cats. I don't think they're very smart. Oh my God. I love it. Get that beast away from me, Antorel cried as Fiddlesticks raised a paw and flexed his claws. See, said Fiddlesticks, and began washing Wizard's germs out from between his toes. Wizard germs. Calm down, Morwen told Antorel. Fiddlesticks won't hurt you, unless I tell him to, of course. What are you doing in the enchanted forest? I won't tell you. Antorel was plainly trying to sound defiant, but all he managed was sulky. Morwen, Scorn wound her way around the far edge of the bush. How long are we going to have to watch the staff? I'm not doing anything, and Jasper wants to take a nap. Didn't he just wake up from like a year-long nap? Okay, I'm exaggerating, but... I'll be there as soon as we finish with Antorel, Morwen said. What is it? Telemane said. Scorn wants the staff taken care of, Morwen told him. Antorel, that presents no difficulty, Telemane said. If you'll just fetch it here, Scorn, I'll do it for you. Scorn gave him a long look. Dogs fetch. She turned her back and lay down, her tail thrashing indignantly. That means no, I take it, Telemane said with a sigh. It does. And I told you I don't want the staff anywhere near the wizard, Morwen said. A proper spirit of scientific investigation. I'm more interested in self-preservation. Study the staff later. Antorel. Ha! said Antorel. "You are too late. Behold!" With a flourish, he raised his right arm. As he did, he began to glow. Fiddlesticks pulled his head back in surprise, and the glow began pulsing. First bright, then dim. After 3 pulses, Antorel started growing. He gained an inch on the next pulse, 2 on the one after that, and then he had grown a foot in height. "Bother," said Morwen, and grabbed for the bucket. "Arglefroster," said Telemaine, and pointed at Antorel. "Yeah," said Antorel, his expression changing from sinister to shocked. He continued to glow and pulse, but he was no longer getting taller. A puddle of brown goo began to spread out from under his robe where his feet should have been. "No, help! You can't do this to me!" "Wow," said Fiddlesticks. "Look at him go." Morwen nodded, but she kept the bucket of soapy water, ready to throw just in case. Antorel was now melting faster than he was growing. In another minute, all that was left were his robes and the puddle of goo, sinking slowly into the moss. Fiddlesticks edged up to it, sniffed, and then backed away rapidly. "What was all that noise?" Killer said from behind Telemaine. "Part of it sounded like another donkey." I imagine Antorel would be very insulted by that, so I love it. "No, it was a wizard, though. In this case, it's much the same thing," Morwen said. "Get it? Because he's an ass." You needn't worry. He's gone now." She set her bucket down once more and gave Telemaine a nod of approval. "Congratulations. It works." "Yes, and did you notice the echo effect on the size amplification spell?" Telemaine shook his head. "Remarkable. The theoretical ramifications are very interesting, I'm sure," Morwen said. "How permanent is this?" She waved at the gooey robes. "Not very, I'm afraid," Telemaine said. "He'll be back in a day or 2. Killer ambled over to the puddle. "Is this edible?" he asked in a doubtful tone. "No!" said Morwen and Telemaine together. "What an awful idea," said Fiddlesticks, wrinkling his nose. "What a mess," said Scorn. "Don't touch it," Morwen said to Killer. "With 2 spells on you already, you shouldn't take any chances with Wizard Residuum." "Oh," said Killer. He looked at the puddle again and sighed. "But I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. What do donkeys eat?" "We'll take care of you in a minute or 2, Morwen promised. "You know, I can't deal, I love that the characters can all talk, because Morwen's job is literally herding cats. Pretty much, right? But now she's got a hungry and thirsty donkey. Anyway, finish up quickly, Telemaine. We're leaving." Beach or no beach, King Menebar and Queen Cimrine had to be found and informed as soon as possible. Morwen started back toward the clover patch to collect her broomstick. "Don't forget about that staff," Storm called after her. Getting ready to leave didn't take long. Morwen picked up the staff, and Jasper, who was still guarding it on her way back to Telemaine, she noticed with interest that the staff was over 3 feet long and expanding slowly. Apparently the shrinking spell was wearing off, even without Antorel's help. When she reached him, Telemaine was just stowing the last of his shiny instruments back in one of his pockets. "We got everyone," the magician asked. "Everyone but the wizard," Scorn said. "And good riddance to him, I say." "Yes," Morwen replied to both Telemaine and Scorn. "If you'll take the staff, Telemaine." "I wouldn't do that," Jasper said, jumping down from Morwen's shoulder. Morwen paused, frowning, then saw Killer standing by the bucket of soapy water. He lowered his head and sniffed experimentally. "Why not? It smells nice." "You don't do that. Don't. That's the lemon juice," Morwen said. "It's got soap in it," Fiddlesticks said, lashing his tail. "It's for melting wizards." Like a Fiddlesticks says it like, duh. "There aren't any more wizards around, and I'm thirsty." Before anyone could stop him, Killer took a large slurp. Oh my god. His ears stood straight up, and he reared back, shaking his head. "Ugh, this tastes terrible." "Fiddle warned you," said Scorn, with a visible lack of sympathy. "So did Jasper. Serves you right for not listening." "What's it doing to his nose?" Fiddlesticks said, poking his own nose forward until he had to stand up and follow it. "Look at his nose, Morwen. It's turning blue." "Not just the nose." Jasper stared in fascination. "His whole face is changing color. What the hell?" Killer gave a frightened snort and shook his head, sneezing soap bubbles in all directions. What? The color went on spreading. Soon his head and neck were a bright, clear sky blue that continued to inch up his ears, down his forelegs, and across his back. "Help!" Killer cried. "Morwen, you're a witch. Make it stop." "That would be inadvisable," Telemaine said. He too was watching Killer's changing color with great interest. The synergistic action of the original wizardly enchantment, which was itself an unstructured mechanical surplus and therefore liable to produce unpredictable side effects, and the secondary vegetation-based enchantment has rendered you vulnerable to the wizard liquefaction fluid also, while also fortunately mitigating its effects. "What?" said Killer. "You've got a leftover bit of a wizard spell on you, and you don't know what it all may do. You're lucky you aren't melting the way the wizard did," Scorn summarized. "But just look at me." I think it's improvement," Morwen said. "Better than being blotchy. Blue. blue is better than being blotchy? The color had spread to Killer's hindquarters. Only his tail and his back legs were still a patchy white-brown. Not much, said Scorn. Settle it later, Morwen said. We have to go. Telemaine, everyone's still here? Good? Telemaine raised a hand and made a circle in his air with his left forefinger. The wide silver band on his finger sparkled as he said in a low voice, Convey this crowd on wind and cloud to the castle of the king by the power of this ring. On the last word, Telemaine clapped his hands together loudly. The trees melted and ran like soft wax on a hot stove. To her surprise, Morwen felt no sensation of movement. It was more as if she were standing still while everything around her shifted. As she nodded in approval, the blur flowed into a new shape and solidified. They now stood on the paving stones of the castle courtyard. I love it. That's so cool. In the relatively narrow strip between the moat and the main door, a large dragon lay along the left side of the castle, basking in the sun. Oh boy. Her head, with the 3 stubby horns that proclaimed her a female, rested at the edge of the moat. Most of her body was hidden by a tower with 2 staircases running around its outside. Her wings were partway open to catch the sun, and her green scales glittered, even where they were beginning to turn gray at the edges. Gray at the edges? Is that because she's getting older? Oh. Ugh! Killer brayed in terror. A dragon! Oh, good, Morwen said at the same moment. That will save some time. Good? Killer seemed to be trying to hide behind Telemaine and to watch the dragon at the same time. A dragon is good? Yes. Not a dragon, you idiots, said Scorn. That's Kazul, the king of the dragons. Killer edged away. Does he eat rabbits? Or donkeys? She prefers Cherry's Jubilee, Jasper said. She? Killer looked thoroughly confused as well as alarmed. But the king of the dragons. King of the dragons is the name of the job, Jasper said. It has nothing to do with gender. Bless this book. Dragons are very sensible about things like that, Fiddlesticks put in, nodding. Almost as sensible as me. But they don't like fish. Fiddlesticks, you are amazing. You're so amazing. I'd be happier if they didn't like donkeys. Don't worry about King Kazul, Morwen said to Killer. She doesn't eat friends of friends. Not even if she's hungry? Killer's ears pricked forward nervously. She looks hungry to me. Before Morwen could respond, the castle door cracked open. From the dark hallway inside, a voice called, Madame Morwen, Magician Telemaine, welcome to the castle. Is that Willin? It has to be Willin. I'm excited. Oh my god, more. I need to read more, because I'm going to do more now.